then if I say gamer words, why don't I try opening this up with a different browser?
Yeah, maybe that's the
yeah.
problem.
I'm using Brave right now, using the Shield Lion, so I guess I'll swap over to Fire or Waterfox.
Yeah, of course, because you're not. Yeah, I heard Firefox has gone pretty paused lately, so.
Oh. Also, man, I am having some nasty ass ping right now.
Oh shit.
Huh.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun time.
This is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
1 second. Let me restart my browser.
Alright, while you're doing that, I'll just keep talking about what I know of
you do so because you're refreshing me as well.
Yeah, so he does a lot of that kind of content. I don't know if he's British or not, but he's got like I mean, you hear his voice. He's kind of like he's got that kind of.
He's probably British.
Yeah, he's got that kind of English kind of prose to him a little bit. And he goes on a lot about academic type stuff and economic type stuff, and I haven't actually I haven't watched him in a long time, and I remember watching him on streams every now and then because he kind of hangs out, or at least I believe he kind of. Oh, there he goes. He kind of shows up in a lot of those same kind of he shows up in a lot of those same kind of skeptic-y type circles, right?
You mean more the societal skeptics, not the atheist skeptics, I assume?
Yeah. The societal skeptics.
Yeah, because this is very distinctly something that's more of a traditional. It's what I think I would expect out of a tradcaf, and there was a lot of tradcafs responding, so I was actually kind of confused for a moment there.
Yeah. I don't know, because again, this is just my very vague knowledge of the guy that's probably out of date, because it's like, I haven't fucking watched any of these people in like 2 years, so I don't fucking know. All I know is that this video dropped like, what, a couple of days ago now? Like, a little bit, and man, it fucking popped off. Everyone was going off about it on Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck?
And I had no idea. I just saw the video today. Was, oh damn, this guy is weird.
Out of curiosity, Ellie, how did this reach your side of the internet? Because you're more normal than us.
I watched some fake talk in another server about how he was weird, and I saw the video, and it started off with something that is clearly not his voice, and then he very quickly, or I already forgot because I immediately posted it here.
It's like this is fresh content. We can milk this shit.
Yeah, well,
we can jump in.
It isn't our regular anime content, so I wasn't planning to make an episode on it because that would be
adjacent.
Look, it's not good for a normal pulls on point, but it's great for a fucking stream. It's great for a stream.
It came out just at the right time because here I am, fucking bored as shit at like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost 5 a.m. Yeah, no wonder nobody's watching.
Wait, what? It's almost midday.
They're gonna wake up to this.
Yeah, it's like
shut up.
It's like 10 in the fucking night for me, so yeah, no one's gonna be watching this shit. But that's fine. I don't know, we can just kind of react and have a fun
We can
time.
finally separate the Anglos, the Americans and the New Zealanders from the Europeans.
Just call me an Anglo.
Yes.
Oh no. So anyway, how's the progress of getting in the watch together going there? Are you having a good?
It's going. I think.
Oh, yep. Oh, there we go. All right, awesome. So without any more stalling, I guess let's get into some.
Let's watch.
Yeah, hang on, I'm just adjusting some things.
The title of this video, by the way, is Zoomers are Coomers.
Yes.
So if any of you are, a Zoomer and a Coomer, raise your hand. I am both not a Zoomer, I'm a millennial, and I am also not a Coomer, as I would never engage in masturbatory acts.
Would never do it.
It weakens the masculine spirit.
Yeah.
It weakens the strength of the white race, which I guess is what this is going for right now.
All right, let's see let's get into it. We've already.
We're already hitting problems. What if I press play?
Hang on, it's jumped ahead. Oh god, the whole video's just crashed for me.
Watch Together's having a moment.
Yeah, hang on, I'm gonna refresh my page and rejoin, see what happens, because I don't know what happened there. Oh, okay, all right. And then can I like? It's not letting me fucking control the video, Ellie. I don't know why. It's like not letting me scroll all the way back to the start. No, no. Watch Together is definitely having a moment right now, because it's not letting me control the video at all, and it's like jumped forward.
Let me.
Somebody just streamed the damn thing.
We were gonna do that, but then okay.
Agency.
Okay,
There we go. Now we're good. All right.
It's not that hard. Oh.
Just had to have faith.
Just had to have faith. All right, let's get into it.
To write clearly will help you to think clearly. The ability to communicate ideas in lucid prose is foundational to success in many areas, and it is a basic requirement in every walk of life.
Pause real
You will
quick
learn the
because
parts of
this is completely useless.
I think isn't this like an advertisement?
No, I have to figure out. I have to figure out how he transitions into this. Like, does this have to do with how does this relate to tomboy abs?
Well, yeah, you'll see how it relates.
By the way, I told my brother about this video. My little brother. He's like, not a weeb, not on the internet. He is safe from the insanity of the world. And I was trying to explain to him what was going on, and the face he gave me was one of bewilderment, shock, and amusement.
All right, let's get into it.
And come to understand the core functions of the English language, sentence construction and syntax, punctuation, style, and common mistakes. Once you see how mistakes are made, you will not unsee them.
Like
you will know
for
the rest of your life.
He
Foundations of
absolutely
writing.
uses
Buy it
every
now.
single form of
I
transition.
came across a thread on Twitter.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, here we go. Boy, here we go.
I came across a thread. Scotland.
Like, Lolly, he's like me when we like have our enlisted fucking sessions.
Where I'm sitting there and I'm hearing you ramble about bullshit on a platform I'm no longer on.
I know, right? I'm like, hey, Lolly, I came across this thread. It was pretty banger. Did you see my tweet that had 20 likes?
Also, man, you really can't have shit in Detroit. And by Detroit, I mean Twitter, because like this person just wanted to post some fucking abs, and
so just some quick context, right? This is not their abs, right?
Yeah,
people thought, I'm not doing it for you, just for like the chat, or not the chat, the non-existent viewers, right? The non-existent viewers watching the stream right now or watching the VOD. The context here was Bolvik, or however you pronounce it, posted this tweet with like, enough politics, abs time. Posted this picture of a chick's abs, and a whole bunch of people thought that this was like their abs, so we're thirsting after this user, right? And doing creepy DMs and kind of that kind of shit, right? And that's kind of the context behind this, right? That sparked this entire schizo post, was this one event. So let's continue.
Today, here's how it started. Enough politics, abs time. This post had almost 60,000 likes and over 800 replies. Now we're going to come back to those replies.
It's a good image.
In a moment.
Okay, pause real quick. So we have this discussion with Fulminatus quite a bit. You know, on some level, I do absolutely agree. Now, think of how many people in the U.S. there are. How many don't use Twitter? Because like Twitter is used by something like, I think like 10-20% of the U.S. and only like a fraction of that actually post on the regular. Last I checked. Now, don't quote me on that. Go look up those statistics yourself. But regardless, it's not a majority of people. So I'm going to guess that the through line of this fucking video is that Zoomers are over fetishizing shit, right?
Probably. I don't know. I haven't watched it all. Yeah.
First of all, you don't know that the people who are posting here are just Zoomers, because I mean anyone can post on fucking Twitter. Like, no age restriction. You know. So like, even if this was just all Zoomers, it'd be a very, very fraction amount responding to this post. So it's like, there was lead up. There is a background to the story that is beyond just abs posting. Like there has to be more. I am intrigued, and I hope he gets into it.
All right, so let's continue.
I don't care about who this person is. Before I even start, I want to head off for degenerate copes.
So this was about the point where I jumped the fuck off, because I was like, this has to be a shitpost. This has to be... He's having a fucking laugh, right? Yeah, I was like, this couldn't be serious, because he's like, I'm gonna hit off these 4 degenerate fucking responses. I'm like, what the fuck? So let's have a look.
Okay, also, these aren't, like, particularly degenerate. See, what's wrong with abs? Do you want the girls to be fat? That's just a generalization. That ain't particularly degenerate. You're just a boomer who doesn't get the tomboy abs fetish subculture, bro. I didn't know there was a fetish subculture for, like, abs on a woman.
Yeah,
So, you know...
I mean, yeah. there's a thread for, like...
Is there a convention?
Look, there's typically, like, muscle threads on, like, D and shit now and then, but there's not...
But that isn't a subculture, that's a fucking thread.
Yeah, exactly. It's like... Look, I wouldn't say, like, tomboy abs is at the same level as something like feet, right? Because let's be... Like, because here's the thing, there's actual statistical shit on this, right? Foot fetishes, there's, like, billions of them. Fucking millions of people have it.
Dude, that sounds like a cope.
Are you coping right now?
Sounds like a cope.
No, I'm not.
I saw everybody here is a filthy foot.
No. Listen, because I saw some, like, scientist or something talk about this in some video once, where he's like, because he was explaining how, like, foot fetishes tend to happen because there's a part of the brain that's super close to the pleasure center that is, like, connected to like feet or some shit.
Oh, you mean they're like
crosswire.
They're more sensitive.
There's a bunch of different like.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different shit. There's a bunch of different shit. I was watching a thing about it, and like the evidence when people are surveyed, right? Foot fetishes seem to be one of the more, like, popular fetishes. So, like, for there to be a subculture around foot fetish shit, yeah, right. Like, BDSM is another one, right? Like, that has a culture. But there's a shitload of people into that shit, right?
Yeah,
massive.
BDSM's more old hat, though, because, like, it's kind of like furries, where there used to be a time where you could only, like, connect to a small group of people in real life that really got it.
But the point I'm trying to make here is, like, tomboy abs, even though there is definitely the market out there, it's not a fucking subculture. There's not, like, a fucking cultural push from the tomboy abs people.
Guys, we need to solidify this as an actual culture. We need a tomboy convention. TomCon 2021 will make it happen. We're gonna break all of the restrictions that may or may not have something to do with in real life events. I'm going to suggest you break them in order to go to TomCon.
We need to have...
We start up TomCon and, like, people show up thinking it's a Tom and Jerry convention.
Look, tomboy abs matter, okay?
We'll convert them. We'll convert them. Don't worry.
Look, the abs matter. But anyhow, so yeah.
Number 3, if you're against this, it is obviously some insecurity on your part. We're gonna get into my theories later. Because you kind of like hear it throughout the interview. But you're gonna get into my theories later. You know.
Yeah. And stop getting triggered and acting like a prude, bro. They're just being ironic and exaggerating, trying to wind you up.
Now that last sentence seems like a cope on his part.
Yeah,
like, he's probably yelled about this to, like, his tulpa or his Discord girlfriend after she got out of class. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's been told that he's just being a prude, probably by multiple people.
Yeah.
In the past, before, yeah.
Because I mean, when you think about it, man, in the grand scheme of things, why does this fucking matter? Why does this one person making this post like stick up his ass so much?
I mean,
what?
Take all these two things together. It's like what he says. I
also,
have a problem.
Trying to use copes in this. In this context, makes him sound like a boomer.
Yeah, because take it all together. He's probably somebody assumptions. He's complained about sexualization or whatnot in the past, and how muscles are whatever. So then somebody says, "What's wrong with abs?
Let's just click on.
What's wrong with abs? Are you just a boomer? Why are you're kind of fat? Is it just insecurity? You're kind of prudish, bro." And all these together are formed around these 4 things he made up.
Now, let's go check. Let's just go check out, let's just go check out his channel. I'm going to check out his channel, and I'm going to read what some of his other topics there are.
All right. You okay. Get a few lined up, and I'll hit play, and then I'll pause it, and you can...
know some dweeb in the chat or the comments will be trying to make.
Dweeb.
Let me save you the trouble and list them. Number 1, what's wrong with abs? Do you want girls to be fat? Number 2, you're just a boomer who doesn't get the tomboy abs fetish subculture, bro. Number 3, if you're against this, it's obviously some insecurity on your part.
Pause real quick.
What have you found?
2 days ago, he had a 4-hour stream follow-up to this video called the Coomer Truth Regime.
Coomer Trooper?
No, the Coomer Truth Regime. Let's see what his other videos are.
The secret Illuminati of Coomers.
Authenticity and the Faustian Man.
Alright.
Let's see. Final Adult. There's a bunch of other ones. Local monopolies and pro wrestling.
Huh?
The Fabian Society tries to end the culture wars? ?
Okay.
Here's a banger that's going to be popular with all the kids. Karl Marx's socially necessary labor time. I would absolutely watch that cartoon. Not even a communist. That's just funny to me. God, there's a bunch of other crazy. Why the slippery slope is not a fallacy.
Because I kind of feel slippery slope will be invoked in this video though.
Probably.
Oh yeah, no, he's laying the groundwork. It's not a thing because there's this thing I perceive happening.
All right, let's keep going. Let's let him get through.
Before you go, Naretsu, you might have jumped off when you saw this and thought it was all a fake. I hear the lack of pop filter and the spikes in audio. How do you call it? Whatever.
Look, here's the thing. I know this guy has been on YouTube for a long time. You would think that by now he would have invested.
I don't have a pop filter. You know what I do? I hit normalize.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is I hear somebody who's done this for years and years and refused to change, and that is how I know he isn't of the mindset of doing something funky or fun.
No. Shit, my mic's not the greatest either.
What you're saying is that he's a boomer.
Absolutely.
Falling into the second cope. But anyway, let's let him list off his copes, and then we'll see. We're going to get into the new shit that I haven't seen before.
Number 4. Stop getting triggered and acting like a prude, bro. They're just being ironic and exaggerating, trying to wind you up.
It's even funnier when he says it.
Listen.
Fuck all that.
So just stop, okay? Enough with these justifications.
Alright, can you stop real quick? Because on that last point, it sounded real personal. They're just trying to wind you up.
Yeah,
like it's like an attack on him.
My nephew keeps calling me a boomer and dabbing in front of me and telling me to cope. I'm going to teach him. I fucking saw him like this.
God damn it. Alright, let's keep going.
Copes. Don't want to hear them. I don't care. I've heard it all before anyway. When I focused on the femboy issue.
He can't just do this.
I focused on the femboy. The femboy question.
Yeah, the femboy question. We need the final solution for femboys.
He can't just drop that on us. It's unfair.
Hang on. I'm responding to something. And let me get my thing
What are
back
you
up.
responding to? What's more important than this?
Fuck, dude in the server wasting all of his GFL SF captures on Intruder when he should be saving for Destroyer. You agree with me that that's important?
Shit, really? Yeah, I'd agree.
Alright, let's get back to it.
Anime to porn to trans pipeline last year.
Whoa! Back up a minute. I gotta hear that whole thing again. Back it up. Let me hear that one more time.
When I focused on the femboy issue and the anime to porn to trans pipeline last year. Now I'm gonna...
Animate?
The anime to porn to trans pipeline.
This shit is why schizo posting is fucking valuable. Who else says this? Who else says this with that much sincerity?
That is the best.
I could not say that with a straight face.
Oh god.
So, Naruto, you've been fapping the anime porn for years.
Yeah.
Do you feel like dropping a big old E, and by E I mean estrogen, and identifying as the proud trans woman you know you are?
You know, sometimes, you know, you can kind of... No. Just no.
Yeah, no, somebody who has been, you know, cranking the old Blizzard anime porn for like, God, almost 14 years. Jesus Christ, maybe he does have a point. But anyways, so, yeah, no, for almost 14 years, never felt the need to either turn into a femboy.
So,
or cut my wiener off. Yeah,
like, I can agree that style of shit has definitely seen an uptake in recent years. There's definitely been an uptake in the femboy shit.
I'm pretty sure there's like more than just anime porn going on there.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? I think it's just more of a reflection on the current societal and the leftist fucking shit, right?
Because let's be honest. Okay, so let's. How many people do you actually think masturbate to anime pornography? You know, hentai. Actually, it was saying the last ero manga, ero anime, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Versus the amount of people who either identify as trans or the like it wouldn't be that significant.
Yeah, I mean,
you probably have more people who masturbate to anime pornography than there are trans people.
I mean, what is the trans statistics now? Like, wasn't it like 1% of the population is trans or something? Like, it's pretty
so
minuscule.
Like So let's say, you know, maybe like be generous, 5 to 7% of the U.S. population masturbates to anime pornography.
Mm.
How many of those people are trans? Because mind you, this isn't going to be a 1-to-1 overlap. I'm going to bet you it's micro.
So what I am going to say, right? So what I am going to say is I can understand creating a correlation causation argument between there's been an uptick in femboy and you know, other porn relating to that kind of stuff, because I see that shit on fucking GIF all the time, right? You'll go on GIF and there'll be those fuckers. I think there's one on there right now that's literally fucking estrogen promoting bullshit, right? Because the leftists, because what the leftists have been doing is they've actually been hijacking that shit to push the HRT shit. Right, I'm going to do my own schizo posting right now.
Yeah, it sounds very schizo right now.
My own schizo, right? Because you'll see these people pop up on the chans all the time. They'll be like, "Oh no, you should just do HRT and become a femboy." Haha. And they'll literally be pushing that shit all fucking day. So I could understand that if this fella sees that, right, he's gonna go, "Damn, this is some fucking anime pipeline shit," right?
Yeah, like all proud schizophrenics, you know. Like all proud schizophrenics, he has a heightened sense of pattern recognition.
Yeah.
He is seeing patterns where they do not exist, or they might exist in the most minor of fashion.
Because here's the thing, whereas he is talking about some kind of like pipeline where it's like, oh, you start watching anime porn and then all of a sudden you want to get fucked up the ass by a BBC.
God, that is some fucking like what was that fucking thing? What was that Reefer Madness? That is some Reefer Madness bullshit.
Well, what I see, right, when I see that, is I see, in general, culturally, there's been a massive push for the trans stuff, right, in general, and that's just bled over into the fetishization of trans people, right? That's what I see going on. I see there's been a fetishization of that shit in general, which has then moved over into that realm of pushing that shit into other fetishes, for instance, because, you know, femboy stuff is not actually trans related because femboys are not trans. You have to remember this. It's very important that there is there's meant to be a distinction between the two, because, you know, traps, for instance, are cis males that look feminine. It's not actually a trans person. And that is a distinction that has been tried to be made because you had the people going on about traps, right, being, you know, transphobic or whatever and trying to destroy all that, right? So I think that's kind of the issue that we've got here with this fella, is he's kind of doing that thing where it's like, oh, I've seen an uptake in this in the porns, and that means that there's some pipeline. It's like, no, I just think it's a reflection of what's going on culturally in general. That stuff just seems to be getting more and more. It's a trend. It's a fucking fad. It's a fucking trend fad.
Yeah,
it's all it is. It's a fucking fad, man. Like I remember back in the day when like Fuda was the big thing, right? Fuda was massive. Fuda was, you couldn't escape the Fudas. The Fudas were everywhere, right? Every single freak, like they had to make rules and stuff on D and whatnot, but it's like you can't be posting food.
D stands for dick girls. I remember those.
Yeah,
days.
exactly. Back in those days, they had to make rules about that and be like, you can't post them in every single bloody thread, right? It's the same thing, except people have moved from Fudas to traps. It's pretty much what's happened. It's the same.
Then traps were always kind of a thing. Like the origin of the word is like mid to early-ish 2000s.
Yeah, we've gone over the whole like some of our earliest content, in fact, was during that whole trap debate where you had people like Pedantic Romantic and Zarya and whatnot going off about it. Yeah, the great trap debate that still somewhat rages on.
Why that type of shit is why it's acceptable to hate white people.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, let's tell us more, Mr. Schizo. Tell me more about
the pipeline.
About the pipeline, yeah. I want to know more.
How many fewer people doubt what I was saying back then. And so it shall be with so-called tomboy abs and this absurd trend that we're seeing.
So-called
both of these things,
tomboy abs.
The femboy and the tomboy, point to a deeper existential malaise in a culture that has seriously lost its way.
The Japanese?
Before you libertarians start, it's not fucking kink, okay? It's not a private matter.
God, he's so fucking mad. Holy shit.
It's not a private matter.
He's fucking seething over this. He is seething.
Jesus
I mean, it is a private matter, like, unless you're masturbating in public. Does horny posting on Twitter, is that morally equivalent to masturbating in public? I think that's the more important question here.
See, that is actually an interesting question. When you
I said that as a joke. Don't humor it, please.
Well, I mean, like, no, but it is interesting because people make the argument that Twitter's like the public square, right? So wouldn't it be like masturbating in the public square?
No, it's I don't know. It's more
It
putting out a
doesn't
shop.
count as a public
If
school.
is putting out a shop, your shop sign is that.
I'm just being an asshole, but it's because obviously on Twitter you have the ability to not see this shit. It's actually very easy. You go into your settings and you just switch all of the adult content filters on, and there you go. Congratulations, you will never have to see any porn on your Twitter feed ever again.
Or
Congratulations. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Brilliant. But of course, you know, people are not too dumb to actually do any of that shit, so...
I wonder how this got onto his feed. Like, did somebody...
Oh, it probably got linked to him or some
Well,
shit. Someone has Discord
it does say
posted.
enough politics apps time, so maybe he followed the guy, maybe, or her. Maybe his name searches politics every day of his life.
I wouldn't be fucking surprised, to be honest.
This would explain a lot.
Alright, let's...
Like, man, you said this guy hangs out with fucking Sargon. Like, Sargon went on to, like, be a successful manager on an Applebee's.
Yeah.
Whereas Academic Agent is still, like, stuck in whatever ward he's in right now.
I vaguely...
Can't afford a pop filter.
I vaguely remember they've streamed together once or twice before, but that's about all I remember. Like, I don't know if they're actually friends or not, but considering the fact Sargon showed up in the comment section of this video, I
guess, man.
Coincidence, I think not, but, yeah, let's continue.
It's not a case of what goes on in the bedroom, so please shut up for a second while the natural law is laid down.
He Judge Dredd?
I don't want to keep pausing all the time, but it's like, Jesus Christ. Every time.
I'm Judge Dredd. I am the law. I am the governor. I am the execution. I'm the hangman.
I'm the law creation.
You got a license for those abs, mate.
Got a license for those abs, little missy.
Hey, Les.
Oh,
Les.
mate.
Those abs.
You're gonna get put in the slammer.
Man, fuck the British.
We're gonna give you a diet. A diet full of carbs.
We're gonna shove McDonald's right down your throat until you become fat again.
Fish and chips every hour of the day.
Alright, let's keep going.
It's a civilizational matter because we are a civilization under both tremendous attack and in steep decline. Therefore, it matters that our young women are trying to behave like men in this way. It matters even more that our young men are responding in public and under their real...
Oh no. This is
bad. Every second he speaks is just fucking amazing.
Gold. It's complete fucking gold.
I'm fucking dying.
Oh, oh no, this is some class A misogyny and some naturalism fallacy.
Our women are trying to be men.
Oh yeah, no, this guy, the only pipeline this guy needs to lay down is some actual pipe, because this is what no pussy does to a motherfucker. Like, you can't tell me this guy gets laid. You can't tell me, like, he's sitting there and he's, like, you know,
Man,
fucking the 400-pound land whale that allows him to, like, come inside her and is like, I'm glad you're sticking to a feminine motherly role.
Look, but for not
destroying our civilization.
For not liking these abs, he sure has kept them on screen for quite a while.
Well, we're the biggest culprit of that, though.
Oh god! But anyhow,
they're good abs.
Yeah, that was good.
The belly button's kind of weirding me out, though.
Yeah, a little bit. Also, that little nip there, that she's got some fucking rock hard nips. What the fuck's going on there?
Man, like, I bet you that Academic Agent isn't going to get flagged for NSFW.
Yeah, but we will. Yeah.
Yeah, we absolutely will.
Oh well, this is the best way to kill the channel. Let's continue.
Names, mind you, like this.
I think that we've reached peak wank.
What? Why is it?
What? Those are not
what?
Adobe.
Why did that?
Why? Those are not Adobe transitions.
What? that was like Windows Movie Maker shit, and also like that fucking came through. Did that go through on just one ear for the rest of you?
It went on the left ear. He ASMR'd this. For somebody who's talking about Coomers, he's bringing out all the sensual shit right here.
You can see why I thought this was a shit post, right? Like a fucking like. I can't believe this is real.
No
Also,
shit poster would
I just want to say, same.
Yeah, same.
No shit poster will pull out Windows Movie Maker.
I'm gonna.
Oh my god, he uses Windows Movie Maker. Jesus Christ.
Hey.
Do you think he uses Windows Movie Maker because like he thinks the actual substance of his videos more than makes up for the lack of like visual presentation?
Look, to be fair, right? Windows Movie Maker is actually, I will stand Windows Movie Maker, especially the XP version, which I assume is the one that he's not the XP version.
I fucked around with an XP version trying to make a Death Note AMV back in the day. I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, no, XP to Windows 7, right? XP to Windows 7 Movie Maker is actually pretty... because here's the thing. It gets the job done, right? You can't really do anything, like, actually, like, complex or whatever with it. But if you just want to, like, slap some shit together and make, like, a fucking, I don't know, holiday movie or some shit of your family, it's fine. It's not... You know, like, there's some good... Like, I will not abide by the slander right now. But I will still mock him for using a very silly transition.
It's not a Movie Maker isn't as based as MS Paint is.
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah. That's the problem. It's like MS Paint's like tiny little brother. It's looking up at his big bro. He's like, big bro, why can't I be like you?
The big bro's like, dude, I don't know why they haven't just pirated
Vegas.
fucking footage. Or like, yeah, Sony Vegas or what's
CSP.
Oh, yeah,
art stuff. CSP. Yeah. Well, you don't pirate CSP. You just buy it because it's actually good.
What do you use? What do you use, Ellie, for videos?
Adobe Premiere.
Yeah.
A legitimate copy, I assume.
Yes.
See, back in my day, everyone was legally obtaining Sony Vegas. That's what everyone was using back in my day. And I had to play around with that back in the day, and that shit was fucking wild. Also, we have a viewer. Oh boy. Hello.
That could just be me. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm actually logged in right now, looking at the.
It could be you, yeah.
Chat.
No, yeah. MS Paint is indeed very cool emoji. I agree.
Oh no, okay, yeah, there is someone else.
We're not just alone schizo posing in the morning. Well, not in the morning, out in the night. Yeah.
It's the morning where it counts, in the land of people who retreat from Afghanistan.
Alright, let's keep going.
Now, because people are stupid, I can't just let this picture speak for itself. I'm going to have to really spell it out so that even Billy at the back of the class can get it.
Yeah?
The woman is built like a man. The man is a little snake wimp on his knees in the classic blowjob position. To cap it all off, she's holding his head.
Dummy.
There is absolutely insecurity in this video. I don't care what he
Oh
says.
my fucking god. Oh man. Oh, you can't be fucking
The
serious.
classic blowjob position. Now,
The
I
classic.
think he's kind of missing the blowjob position. By like a good, because I imagine academic agent is the type of person to go down on a woman, so he doesn't know where the genitals are, and I imagine that whatever tulpa he is created in his head is also not willing to go down on his unwashed penis. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what a blowjob looks like.
No.
There's
just so much of this misogynistic woman has to be submissive, man has to be strong.
That's another, like, I don't know the context of the rest of this. I'm guessing it's going to be like an Amazoness or a Giantess or something like that. But like the thing on the right, that's not him just being feminine or whatever. That's literally just like a comical chibi pose. Like it's supposed to be kind of dirty.
I think
looking.
someone posted the full comic somewhere. I don't quite know where, but I've seen the full version, and it's like some kind of barbarian knight or some shit. And it's like this knight is like, oh, abs, and he like licks the abs or so. Like the whole, it's it's just a silly little fucking comic joke, right? But he's turning it into this whole like, oh, the woman is
he's going
masculine.
full Freudian psychoanalysis on them.
Yeah, it's like it's just a fucking comic about a guy who likes abs. Like Jesus Christ.
Also, well, even if let's say. You both said same. That's
yeah, because we're in on the joke. Yeah.
But also, would it be wrong for a man to admire the abs?
I
That's the thing.
mean, if it's the thing you're into, I don't give a shit. Like,
well, I have an issue with the fact that he thinks that abs are inherently like a masculine thing in this context. Like, I know, like, abs on a woman in real life is actually rather rare, I believe. I think. I mean, I think you can get abs as a woman if you train that part of the body enough, but I don't know the biology behind this, right? I'm not a fucking biologist. But the thing is, he's kind of being like, oh, this exaggerated artistic depiction of a woman has a masculine trait, therefore people are attracted to the masculine trait, therefore that makes them gay. He's making the traps are gay argument right now, because the feminine penis is feminine.
I used to for years jokingly say that tomboys, like as a shitpost, used to say that tomboys were more inherently homosexual than traps or femboys. Like as a joke. This man's taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Man's running with it.
Yeah, it's very weird. Let's see where's he gonna go. I'm very fucking intrigued. I want to see where he goes with this.
There's even a variant where she calls him little boy.
Oh, here we go.
This is the
I see you really want to lick my abs, huh? My meat grinders, my bulging washboard, my 8-pack, and the guy's nodding and he's like, they're all yours, little boy. This is mommy GF. Mommy tomboy abs GF. Abs are art. Like I don't quite. If that's what you're into, it's what you're into. You know, like some.
And even then, it's just kind of lampooning an exaggerated little thing. Like it really is a case of him being a prude and this being a joke that he doesn't get.
Yeah.
It's called getting old. It's okay.
All right, let's keep going.
This isn't some one-off response. This is a cultural phenomenon big enough to be a meme.
Is it actually a meme?
This is not a serious stream, and we could just fucking lampoon the shit out of this nerd.
Is it actually are female abs actually a meme? Is that if I go onto knowmymeme.com, will I be able to find like female abs?
So with most tomboy stuff I see, like it's never. I don't see terribly a lot. Like okay, let's say Makoto from Idolmaster, right?
Yeah.
Classic tomboy character. She doesn't have abs.
No, she's
more like very lift.
Slender, fit.
Yeah, so
like
more akin to like a Bishonen character.
I think there's a difference. Because I think the issue is he's conflating tomboy in the sense of like the physical aspect, whereas I think when most people think about a tomboy, they're thinking more about the personality aspect, like how the woman acts, right?
And
you
that's
often
not a new thing. Like you forget one of the most influential like showmen or show women in American history was Annie Oakley. Who was, she did boyish things.
Yeah.
She was a sharpshooter. She was a tomboy.
Yeah. Like it's
not new, and I'm pretty sure, considering when Annie Oakley was alive, if he had been he would, if you were to bring up, oh, what about this year? Was this year a good year in American history? He'd probably say yes.
Yeah,
even though this degenerate society destroying thing was already there.
Yeah, because you see, most people when they, like I said, most people when they think about like a tomboy, like when I think of tomboy, I think about, oh, it's a girl or a woman that does manly things and typically doesn't adhere to traditional gender norms about, oh, well, women can't do this sport or that sport. They're often characterized as sporty types that are quite into sports or physical activity and that kind of thing. I think the abs thing is more of a muscle fetish type thing in general.
And this is more of a mommy dom.
specific.
This is more of a mommy dom even.
Oh yeah, the way the character here is acting is definitely way more mommy dom than direct tomboy.
Yeah, let's just say this character is not a tomboy.
Yeah, this is a completely different fetish in general.
Although
Annie Oakley, alive from 1860 to 1926, he'd probably agree that was a great time in American history.
Yeah.
But apparently, it was already on its way to collapse.
Apparently, right. Let's hear his amazing breakdown of this comic.
But it should be clear that the tomboy abs is a gateway to fantasies of complete gender reversal. This young man wants to put himself in the position of a teenage girl, serving a bigger and more masculine man. He is abdicating his responsibility as a man and asking the woman to be the man in his place.
Pause.
Sorry, I want to let him keep going because I don't.
Why? Okay, can we get this guy? We should have had this guy on when we were analyzing Evangelion.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, this guy goes deep. This guy does not just go for the surface level bullshit.
Bio has told me about this guy doing like a breakdown of Thomas the Tank Engine, like a deep lore breakdown of Thomas the Tank Engine, and based off how he's analyzing this, I really want to watch that at some point because that sounds amazing.
I'm not sleeping anytime soon. You can just keep going.
Oh man. Alright, let's keep going.
In other words, he is verbalizing his desire to be feminine, to become a woman. But because it's 2021, people are extra specially stupid in this day and age. I'm going to get another reply to ensure that you really get it. I'm going to bash you over the head. Remember I mentioned Conan and his sledgehammer? This video is me wielding Conan's sledgehammer, okay? So let's look at this one.
Oh, Conan the Barbarian, I assume. Oh no,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is Conan the Barbarian.
Is he going to say that Conan the Barbarian is what men's?
No, he sees himself as Conan. He sees himself as the peak of masculinity.
Oh god. Somebody don't tell this guy about gender bending. Yeah, we got to get this guy to read some like TSF fucking shit. Some actual.
Dude, I want him to just go over my favorites on fucking Sad Panda. I want to show him.
We gotta get him to psychoanalyze you by judging your taste in hentai. He's gonna fucking analyze.
He's gonna fucking go for the nearest gun and blow his damn brains out if he fucking looks at the shit I jerk it to. Jesus Christ.
So let's see him break down this guy's response. I'm interested.
Here, he responds to the picture of the masculine woman with a degenerate anime meme of what appears to be a schoolgirl squirting milk from their genitals. Nicky imagines himself as a schoolgirl with a penis exploding at the sight of a strong woman. If you look at the written text, it is also written in a particularly girlish way. I'm so horny right now.
So, pause. Oh my god. Let's one thing at a time. So, I find it very, very suspect that his first thought isn't, this person is putting himself in the position of a woman going down on a man. He thought, this person is putting himself in the position of a teenage girl going on down on a burly man.
Oh.
It is an incredibly suspect analysis. This is a lot more about him than this is about fucking Mickey.
I gotta get some more fucking water or I'm gonna die, so I'll be back in a second.
Damn.
This is just a... Oh, damn, I hear some echo. Never mind that. I was going to say,
Wasn't academic agent like the type of person to go on the fucking 4chan or whatever? Surely he knows what shitposting is.
Oh yeah, and also this video has just a deadly amount of naturalistic, deterministic gender roles. It's.
Oh yeah, no, it does have a lot of that. And like on some level, like I kind of get where he's like. Well, okay, I don't really get where he's coming from, but like I can understand the desire for traditional gender roles. You know, I would consider myself a bit more conservative in that regard. But at the same time, it's like even in traditional gender role societies, say like back in the Annie Oakley was 15 when she started, so back in 1875, there still existed. You know, women with masculine traits, and even way back, way back into like things like eunuchs existed. Like this,
yeah,
always kind of like there's always been people that kind of blurred the lines, or people who didn't immediately fall. Human psychology is a very complicated thing, and the idea of a hard separation between male and feminine roles is, on one hand, a lot of it is biologically determined, but on the other hand, like there's a lot of flexibility because humans are very adaptable. Our brains are very adaptable.
So I know two examples of gender roles in history. One of is prehistoric. That is, there's some tribe in, I believe, North America, tribes, and they found some graves and they decided to test the bones for once, and found that all the big important hunters, half of them were female. So there was no...
Oh, so your typical... Actually, interestingly enough, you can actually see this in nature. Lions.
Yeah.
Literally lions.
So the job of to hunt the big dangerous animals, half of them were done by women. So there was not even really a gender role for hunting or not. Second is the Victorian era, around those times. And you had like your cannoneer clubs. Rich important people had a cannon, and they drag that cannon to their cannon meetings, and they show off how well they maintained their, basically, having a fancy car and going to a car meetup, but instead with a cannon.
That sounds way more fucking badass than a car meetup. Just gonna roll up with my cannon.
But also, women were in those clubs. Far fewer, but there were women who had their own cannons and to shoot the big cannon. Just like there were women with their nice rifles.
Yeah, like in that rural homesteads in the U.S., like you always had people that were, you always had men and women that were constantly switching up roles because necessity over everything.
Yeah,
like,
if you're in
an example, my great grandmother, my grandmother actually told me this story. When she had one of her children, she was working in the field farming, had the child right there, cleaned it up, brought it inside, immediately went back outside in the field.
Hello, Bio.
Yeah. So, Bio.
We're doing some schizo posting. We're on live stream right now.
Yeah, we are. We're talking about schizo posting.
Yeah, we're watching the academic agent schizo post, and we're having.
Oh yeah. So. Oh, I actually know quite a bit about the academic agent.
Yeah, we already did a kind of a history in the beginning. We're
like 5 minutes. We're 5 minutes into the 20-minute video because we have to keep pausing because every time he fucking sees something, we just crack up every single time.
He does not get it. He is so out of his element, and he's so upset about the fact that he is a boomer.
So I was going to add to your point, Lolly, about in the Americas, right? Because back then, when America was kind of in its sort of in that sort of stage of its progression, you'd have these like farmsteads that were miles away from any form of civilization. So if you were a woman work, you'd be fucking working the farm just as much as any man would be, because more hands the better. It doesn't matter what type of hands they are.
Yeah.
You can't really discriminate if in that case and be like, oh no, you can't work the farm equipment or whatever because you're just a woman or some shit. It's like,
I do want to bring up back my Victorian example where was a woman with a cannon because she liked shooting the big cannon, not because it was a necessity, which is also gender roles were broken ages ago. It doesn't matter.
Big gun go boom.
Yeah, we have the illusion of gender roles, right? It's a social construct.
Yeah, most of it is.
Would say.
Even the masculine hunter and the feminine hunter-gatherer is wrong from the very start.
I'm not say it's mostly because you will see this especially in childhood psychology, where if you're to sit down a baby boy and a baby girl and you had a doll right there and then like Lego bricks or a train to the next to them, and you will see this even at the infancy stage. The girls will be the most likely to go towards the doll, and the boy will be the most likely to go towards the train.
But I'm not talking more of the willingness to do dangerous things isn't a mandate high from above that all women will be submissive and whatnot.
Oh yeah, no, not everybody, because you will get even in this example, you'll get examples of the girl going towards the train and the boy going. Like it's
I mean, if I want to bring up like historical examples, for example, Gaelic tribes. Like when the Romans battled the Gaelic tribes, they found the woman there very different from what they're used to. Or another example is, in Japan, there was actually quite a few women that were actually in charge of samurai clans. Or I think there was one bride of a warlord in China who was quite feisty and would actually go out to the battlefield with her husband. So, there are exceptions. And
I have one exception of there was some big... when in Scandinavia, in Viking culture, somewhere around that time, if you died, you get a big hill and you get buried under the hill with all your big equipment and stuff, and even boats. So entire boats got buried because you're such a big important person. And there's one island. There's the biggest hill of all time, and all the hills before and after were smaller, not to disrespect the biggest hill of all. They all said, oh, that's the big King's Hill, and one day decided to do some analysis on the boats, and goddamn, it's a woman. The biggest hill on this island was no bigger hill before, no bigger hill after. That woman was the biggest, best woman ever, apparently.
She must have killed a lot of people.
Or be the best ruler
it's possible
ever.
that woman was the inspiration for like the Valkyries.
Who knows? But the thing is, she was so big and important, nobody dared to build bigger afterwards.
Yeah, I think we've kind of drilled this into the ground now. So I want to hear.
I could keep on going on, but yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear academic agent explain to me this meme image.
I just love this fucking.
I know, it's great.
Yeah, it's a great image. She's like just licking the screen.
I wanna hear what academic agent has to say about it. Because he's been explaining these memes so far, and I wanna hear how this is going to cause the downfall of Western civilization. So let's keep going.
Look, here's a Japanese-looking girl, posted as the point of view character.
Japanese-looking girl, brackets boy,
Also, is he going to talk about the downfall of Western civilization when he's watching
that
anime?
would actually be the funniest shit ever if someone like fucking source nanoed this and it turned out to be from a trap fucking dojo.
Also, I just want to point out though.
I mean, the art style does look familiar.
I just want to point out, Japanese-looking girl, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what you know about anime, but those eyes are a little too wide to be an Asian.
a little.
And that hair is a little bit too red, I assume, for an Asian.
I don't know.
I didn't know the Japanese actually looked like anime waifus, guys.
Oh, well, that... I must have missed it when I was in Japan. All I saw was the boring variant.
Yeah, alright, let's keep going.
From the male Twitter user, licking the tomboy abs. This is the complete inversion of Laura Mulvey's male gaze. This is the female gaze internalized by young men. Here's another variant. Here, the man imagines himself as a young anime girl with a fucking ponytail poking their tongue out, trying to lick the toned stomach.
Imagining them. Does he assume that when people post reaction images that people see themselves as their reaction image? Do I see myself as Peepo?
I think that's what he's thinking.
I am the Pepe. I am the real Pepe.
I'll have you know that my persona is Gondola.
God damn! I'm just fucking. All right, let's keep going. We gotta go. We gotta keep going.
Oh, must go. This is why the terrorists hate us. Now,
what?
while I don't want to see a single comment defending this shit, and I will delete them if I see them, I
can't. You can't delete this stream unless you DMCA us. So come on, Dave, do it. Do it. I dare you, pussy. Fucking do it.
By the way,
you want to do? Because here's the thing: you will make us famous if you fucking do that shit. Come on. Manime Matt.
So you'll finally be able to get your Switch.
Oh, not Manime Matt. No, not Manime Matt. Monday Matt. Monday Matt us, please. Monday. Matt, know us. Academic agent, know us. Do it.
So,
John Apocalypse is thinking about Nio in the comments. Yep, it's a good thing to think about.
I don't know her, unfortunately.
Also, hey, John.
Yeah. So, yeah. So yeah, I mean, look. Most YouTubers, they just lie about deleting the comments. So, I mean, to be honest, this is just a power move, right? He's just gonna outright admit
look,
it.
it's a Sigma male move, all right?
YouTube hiding comments or downplay.
I don't know. Maybe he has. I mean, yeah, possible. But it's like, all right, then I guess there could be no disagreement or debate about this. You know, just yep, no, gonna delete all those negative comments. Got to get rid of them. Alright, let's keep going.
Blame the young men and the young women who are the victims of this. Yes, it is true that male and female traits are biologically rooted, but there is some slack there which culture picks up, and whatever slack is there, our culture is pushing to breaking point, inducing problems of internal identity on young and impressionable men and women who live dazed and confused by all of this, addicted to porn and this sort of gender-bending nonsense on a daily basis.
So, I would really love to know what his natural law rules are.
He's reading off of a script right now, and I do have to say, he does have a way with words.
Also, I'm very aware of, like, some of the books he reads. Like, you know, if you ever read, like, some of Steven Pinker's The Blank Slate, like, he's clearly referencing that and quite a few other books as well, so...
he's absolutely referencing Julius Evola right now.
Yeah, like, he's referencing a whole bunch of shit, but here's the thing. I think he's applying it in the wrong area, because there's a lot of shit that he's missing, but we will get into that.
I'm going to just tell you this right now, Bio. We're just shitting on a person.
Yeah, this is not serious at all. Because how can you take this seriously? Like I can't.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like any news journalist trying to like do a transcript of a 4chan thread.
Yeah.
It just like they're trying to describe what's going on and they don't get it, so they can't really put it into words.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going.
So Count Danknethers have tried to normalize and defend all of this.
Count Dankula has tried to
known the leftist gender bending trans supporter Count Dankula.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that Count Dankula was into his traps. I just didn't think he went that far.
He likes his fooders too. Apparently,
he does like Ryuko, so you know he does have a thing for tomboys. Did he respond to this?
I think he's memed about it. I don't know. I'd have to check his Twitter. I haven't seen it.
Because like him and Sargon, or like, okay, Count Dankula occasionally talks to Sargon. Sargon apparently occasionally talks with this guy and commented on the video. It had to have reached.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can tell you, Academic Agent and Sargon do chat to each other. They're in like contact.
Right. So here's the thing, right? Dank is doing a lot of that stuff because he's a comedian and it's funny. Because have you seen what Dankula looks like? Right? You have Dankula, this bearded fucking massive
fucking Scottish guy, yeah.
Tattoos Scottish guy, and he's talking about how he likes fucking traps and he's got anime figurines up on his fucking shelves and shit now because he went out and brought them specifically because he wanted them on the set because he thinks the weeb shit is just funny. So he just fucking
like he thinks it is like, oh, I don't really get anime, but you know, it's this weird anime crap. Like, he doesn't take it too seriously.
Yeah, like if you actually listen to his streams, he's not like a hyper weeb or anything. He's just like, I find it funny how people react to it, so I do it, which is like his MO.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's like, you know, you buy a body pillow. You don't even care with the characters. You just buy a body pillow. So when people walk in, they ask, hey Dave, what is that pillow?
That's a great conversation starter. You get yourself like a lolly body pillow fully NSFW. And you just stick that shit in the corner, and you have people come. You play a game where it's like you start a timer, and you see how long it takes for people to notice.
You just have a completely serious set. You have this set that's set up, and you're trying to like talk about some serious issue, like homeless. You're in a dress. There's this office building. There's this like fine, cherry wood desk, and just in the corner, there's like a half-naked Kobato staring at you from a fucking pillow, and it's there. You have to accept it.
Yeah. So our boy in the chat is like, what if Jerry Freeman made a collaboration? Yeah, the savior of Western values, Jerry Freeman. I was off topic. I caught a bit of Jerry's stream recently because he was doing a stream about his Ruby alt thing. He was rewatching some of his older videos and like critiquing his old stuff. I didn't catch all of it, but I watched some of it, and it was quite interesting to see how he's. I have a feeling that we might see a redemption arc from him in the future.
Oh no, because I know he deleted most of his old videos, and
yeah,
I don't have the feeling that he's seeing himself as the savior of Western civilization or anything. I think he chilled out.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the redemption arc, where I think he's going to come back and he's going to stick to the shit that he was good. Because, I mean, I've always held that I actually liked his Ruby alt content. I think he had some really good ideas there that he could adapt into. Like, my whole thing was like, listen, Jerry, you've got some pretty good ideas here. Why don't you just make your own OC? Make your own thing. It doesn't have to be tied to Ruby. Just, like, make it your own, right? You have some... Like, some of the shit he was coming up with was actually really fascinating to me. But the fact that it was tied to Ruby and the fact that he tried to, like, create, like, a community SCP-type project or whatever about it was... No, listen, dude, just get writing. Just start making your own shit, right?
What if you got Academic Agent to write Ruby fanfiction? Do you think he'd do it?
Maybe.
I mean, this is the guy who did like an entire deep lore on Thomas the Tank Engine. So
yeah, we saw that, and we have to watch that.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that.
It's a great video because it's just a great. He does a breakdown of like the economic breakdown of Thomas the Tank.
Economic breakdown.
All right, maybe that can be like
economic breakdown of Ruby.
Maybe that can be like the second stream. We will watch the Thomas the Tank Engine video. We'll do that as like part 2.
Oh, please do. It's a great video. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite deep lore videos.
John in the comments is like, I imagine this dude has a different idea of what China thinks femboys are when they... Yeah, so that's an interesting point. Yeah, like I wonder if he thinks that China is like based and red-pilled for banning the femboys. That would be quite an interesting little
I do know he is not exactly pro on the femboy trap issue.
No,
that's
not.
why I'm saying like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he brought that up in this video actually. The trap. It
was the anime
fem to trap to femboy to
anime pipeline.
Yeah. So Yeah, I reckon it'll be interesting to see how. Because I've met some people that normally are like anti-censorship type people, right? They're really like government censorship's bad. I hate censorship. Censorship's bad. But on this issue with China and the femboys, it's like they're all of a sudden they're going like, oh, based. Oh, raw, based China banning the femboy, and I'm like, whoa, dude, what the fuck are you? What? Because
I like to refer to them as fair weather libertarians.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, let's continue.
This isn't something that should be defended. It's ultimately terminal for civilizational prospects.
Although,
it is quite literally training men to think of themselves as women, to ape the behaviours of women. And when the barbarian does invade, can we be sure that these men will shake it all off?
Oh man!
What barbarian?
This guy
does he mean the Chinese? What is he talking about?
This guy is as
Ellie,
much as.
Are you putting together a raiding party to raid the east coast of the United States?
Oh,
are you going to start the second Norman invasion?
I mean, those trade ports look mighty breachable.
Yeah,
I mean, we're only going to take back what's rightfully ours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just the entire east and west coast.
We're going to
that one.
New Zealand, New Zealand,
Yeah.
New Holland, New Amsterdam. We're only going.
Yeah, look, China is just controlled opposition. It's actually the Dutch who's responsible for everything.
Yeah. Alright, let's keep going.
Fight, or will they drop to their knees with their tongue hanging out? This tomboy rubbish is just the tip of a much deeper iceberg that infiltrates Zoomer culture at every level, especially in porn, but also in all of the other degenerate forms, you know, the forums, the anime, the 4chan, all of the gamer spaces, and so on and so forth.
Oh
this
yeah,
sort
those
of thing
are
is
the
just
real.
the everyday life. Another quote that somebody gave me is, "Oh, don't react to something on Twitter. Let me tell you something. Twitter is real life."
I don't know, because I see my mic like fucking not go green when I scream, because it's like I'm probably breaking the noise gate.
You're probably breaking like what's being detected.
Because I have like a thing where it doesn't detect, like I have it very low, but just to stop background noise or whatever, like if I'm eating or something. But like, I think I might be screaming a bit too loud for Discord because it goes fucking dark.
Twitter is real life.
Oh man, this guy is as much as an authoritarian as China.
Lolly, this is like the fucking polar opposite of like because we've been arguing with Phil about this, right? Where it's like, because he thinks Twitter is irrelevant completely, right? To anything real life.
It kind of largely is. Like, literally, not that many people. Most people hear about shit that happens on Twitter because, like, you know, this is what happens when you've been on the internet for far too long. Yeah, this is like, unironically a please go touch some damn grass type of issue right here.
Yeah, but like, what I'm talking about with the full thing is like, I think that like the actual answer lies somewhere in the middle, where it's like, yeah, Twitter. Not a lot of people actually use Twitter in the grand scheme of things. Like most normies, right, are not actually on Twitter. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Twitter is not causing influential problems in the real world, right, in a sense. But I don't think it's to the level that this guy thinks it is.
Yeah, like I commented on this. Like, it's this weird fucking crossover. You've got like economic, political commentator, YouTuber getting involved with anti-Twitter. It's a really weird crossover.
Yeah, it's one of those strange crossover episodes. But yeah, no, like. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily Twitter itself having an influence. It's usually people reporting on it, because you have to think of what are all the major drama that happens, right? Somebody says something, and then some fucking reporter for like CNN posts about it. Like, a lot of people don't actually use Twitter. A lot of people don't have the fucking time to use it. Like, they're working. They have a life.
Yeah.
Only people who use Twitter to such a large extent that they would even know about half this shit are honestly just people who are terminally online. And those types of people don't tend to interact that much with the real world, and not everybody meme spouts. I mean, people in meme spout don't have friends.
Yeah, but yeah, so that, it's kind of the thing, right? It's People both over and underestimate. I think that's kind of my stance on it.
But also that line said unironically is hilarious.
Twitter yeah, exactly. Yeah, Twitter is real.
It's like that one thing. Okay, remember that episode of Serial Experiments Lane where that one guy is going like crazy in the middle?
Oh yeah, I remember that episode.
Of the fucking club, and he points a gun at Lane and says something like, "The Wired can't be allowed to influence the real world." This is what's going on in this head, except rather than holding the gun at a high school or in a club, or he is instead yelling at Zoomers on Twitter.
John makes the point that news outlets have covered tweets more than disasters where people have died. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. Like that's where I think me and Lolly are kind of getting at. It's like, yeah, Twitter does have influential effects on real life, whether or not the quote-unquote normies or whatever that aren't on Twitter have a say in it or not, right? Because they're not there, obviously, or they don't know about it, right? I think that there's definitely some level where things that happen on Twitter cause or have caused influential changes in quote-unquote the real world, but I definitely don't think it's to the point where this guy is saying that he physically can't respond to the, like, he has to respond, right? Because Twitter is real life. That's his point. It's like, no, dude, you don't have to respond. Like, you don't have to respond. You can just go about your day and not worry about the abs. The abs don't, you just, how the fuck is cyberbullying real? Lol, just turn off the screen. Right? Like, come on. Alright, let's keep going.
It's more real, and it affects real life more than anybody expects. How can anybody have lived through the past 3 or 4 years and not think that Twitter is real life? Of course it is. This is what young men are spending their time doing. Don't give me that. Cope. Now, it's hard to blame anyone, particularly on an individual level, because the cultural messaging they've been getting since the 1990s has trended in this direction to greater or lesser extremes.
I can tell academic age, this shit's been going on a lot longer than you think.
Yeah, it's like oh man, Tom boys, it's recent.
Annie Oakley, you know, started doing show shooting. She is a well and true tomboy, an American tomboy.
I mean, you have like, I mean, I know her as Pippi Langkous, but there's some Swedish story of some girl that causes a lot of trouble. She has pigtails and mismatched clothes and whatnot, and does some boyish things. That story is like 90s,
ancient
80s.
Shit. Yeah.
I mean,
also I love the comment you made in the chat. Imagine a muscular, tall woman coming up to you, putting her hand around your crotch, tells you that you look fun to play with. You get hard. Congratulations. You destroyed Western civilization. You didn't ask for this. You didn't choose this. But there it is. You are now a Nazi.
Do I at least get snoo-snoo?
That's what absolutely gets me about this. He's literally making the same type of argument that fucking
extra credits.
Yeah, that's their name. I'm sorry. My brain's moving on a mile a minute. Yeah, the same type of argument extra credits was making in their Nazi video.
Yeah. Like,
but literally, because you are here, because you are physically, you are putting yourself in the position of a Nazi soldier.
Yeah.
It's making you have fascist thoughts,
dangerous
thoughts.
You are putting yourself in the position of the submissive male being tended to by the masculine woman. That you are causing this. Why did you do this? you know, like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Throughout history, there have been men who are a bit effeminate, and there have been women that have been a bit more masculine. Like, you know, I mean, if you ever read some of Jordan Peterson's thing, you know, some males have more female temperament, some women have more male temperament.
It's But anyway, we can keep going. Let's see what else.
Song that I grew up with, "Girls and Boys" by Blur.
We're gonna fucking get copyright claimed.
Also, what the fuck is wrong with what is wrong with his mixing and his fucking audio for his clips? Because it was like the other clip he used with that one guy, it was like in one ear, and that thing was also off balanced. So I don't like. Look, if you're gonna do your skits, can you at least put some effort into your schizo posting,
man,
please?
Can't. It's the style.
It's the aesthetic.
It's the aesthetic.
Yeah. Alright, let's keep going.
What is the traditional answer to all of this? Let's see what Julius says in Revolt Against the Modern World.
Oh,
we know that every
Oh my
traditional
god,
civilization...
he actually does quote Julius Evola. Oh my god. I was joking.
Alright,
joking.
Let's get through the quote and then we can react to it.
...is based on the will to order and give form, and that the traditional law is not oriented toward what is unqualified, equal, and indefinite, or, in other words, toward that impersonal mix in which the various parts of the whole become promiscuously or atomically similar, but rather intends these parts to be themselves, and to express as perfectly as possible their own typical nature. Therefore, particularly with regard to the genders, man and woman are two different types. Those who are born as men must realize themselves as men, while those who are born as women must realize themselves as women, overcoming any mixture and promiscuity of vocations. Even in regard to the supernatural vocation, man and woman must both have their own distinctive paths to follow, which cannot be altered without them turning into contradictory and inorganic ways of being.
Alright, this guy sounds like a complete idiot.
Okay, Julius, I just want you to go look up. Don't read it out loud because we don't want to get into a huge political rant. Just go look up who Julius Evola is on your own time. And, man, that's such a choice person to quote. I was joking because I was kind of trying to make the joke that this guy... Yeah, shit. Man, I can't wait until he quotes Mein Kampf.
I mean, look, this let's I'm gonna put the serious cap on.
Also, I'm sorry. How can the future Western society be secure if our women can't protect the home front and are physically weak?
Yeah, like
he's really weak to genetics.
I kind of want to because I don't have. Maybe it's just the fact that it's like almost midnight, right? But what the fuck is this trying to say? Like what?
Men should be strong and do hammer things, and women should be weak and do baby things.
Because it seems like a lot of words to say literally nothing.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm not put off by this academic sort of language, but the thing is that he just says that men should be strong, women should be weak, and any attempt to change this is unnatural and should be stopped.
Right, which is fucking silly.
Yeah,
because this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Is like let's assume like we use a naturistic argument, or however you describe it, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't the naturistic argument be to just allow things to progress as they naturally would evolve to progress?
But you don't get it. This is the nature, and if you're going to change, if some woman wants to do it differently, that's only because it's unnatural.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, I get it. It's not like nature evolves and changes.
No. It's just anything that isn't according to the norm we have established today. That means it's unnatural.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, I understand now.
This is natural. Anything that isn't now like things like anything that isn't like things that are of now is unnatural.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, he would have a marble stone Avi on Twitter.
No. It would straight up be. It would be the Toho Avi, but like, it would be edited so that there's the fucking black sun in the background spinning.
Yeah. Fuck, man. All right, let's see what he has to say about this quote.
Already, Evola rules out the prospect of the manly woman or the girly man as contradictory and inorganic. Self-actualization in the traditional concept is about realizing yourself as your own gender. Men must realize themselves as men, and women must realize themselves as women. Now, what does that mean exactly?
Yeah,
That's a lot. That's a lot of statements, friend. That is a lot of statements. I will ask the very simple question of, but why?
Pretty much, because it's, like, because here's the thing. Like, I'm no progressive, right? It's very well established that I am very much not a fan of the lefties and their ideology or whatever. But one of the things I do actually quite somewhat agree with is their whole. I like the spectrum shit that they do, right? The only issue with the spectrum shit is they don't actually adhere to it properly, because they'll be like, oh, gender is a spectrum, and you can be any, like, whatever in between, like, these 2 points, right? You got masculine or feminine, right? And you could be any, percentage of each to make yourself who you want to be, right? Maybe you're a little bit more of a girly man, or you're a bit more of a tomboy or whatever, right? All these different things can exist, right? But then you'll have the people that will be like, oh, well, I mean, you're a slightly effeminate male, guess you're trans, right? That's my thing here. But I don't have a problem with the idea of spectrum theory like that. It's just it doesn't actually, they don't fucking practice what they preach, and that's where I come in and have my problem with it. Because I reckon that's fine for people to just be whoever the fuck they want to be. If you want to be a man and fucking, your version of what makes you is maybe you.
I'm going to shit. Because I decided I'm just gonna pull up Julius Evola's Wikipedia page. I'm just going to screen cap this one part here.
All right. Oh god. So yeah, I don't know why we have to be like tied to this idea that no you have nature is like this.
Isn't that based?
Oh boy, I can't. I'll add this guy to the reading list.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, chat. You don't get to see that. Go look up his Wikipedia article and you'll see.
He's specific views on some national ideas, on some
things,
ethnic ideas.
His specific views on the how would we say this? The long nose solution.
So to be fair, right? To be fair, we can detach all of that from what he's actually trying to say, right?
But what he's trying to say is kind of stupid.
Exactly, that's the problem. Right? I'm just saying that we don't want to fall into the trap where it's like, oh, we're going to discredit what he says because he has views about the things that we can't actually talk about on YouTube. Otherwise we'll get really yeeted.
Second World War stuff.
I'll just say this: Albert Camus is the only valid philosopher in the modern age, and everybody who disagrees with me is wrong.
All right. So yeah, that's. But yeah, my point here is more like I just don't. I think that it is that we can kind of progress, I guess, in a sense, in the true form of progressivism, not like shitty activist progressivism. To be able to just, like, the libertarian view of, like, look, just let people do whatever the fuck they want.
Maybe I don't care what's going on in your pants.
Yeah, maybe I don't give a shit if you want to identify as some kind of, like, I don't know, transgender firefox, fucking whatever. Just keep that. just keep that shit away from me, okay? I don't need it.
It's like that meme. Like sometimes you're just gonna come across a peculiar bug.
Yeah. Like, look, you do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing over here. We can both coexist, right? Hashtag coexist.
Press play, Naretsu.
Yeah.
Exactly. Havila continues.
I've already considered the way of being that corresponds eminently to man. I've also discussed the two main paths of approach to the value of being a principle to oneself, namely action and contemplation. Thus, the warrior, the hero, and the ascetic represent the two fundamental types of pure virility. In symmetry with these types, there are also two types available to the feminine nature. A woman realizes herself as such and even rises to the same level reached by a man as warrior and ascetic only as lover and mother. These are bipartitions of the same ideal strain. Just as there is an active heroism, there is also a passive heroism. There is a heroism of absolute affirmation and a heroism of absolute dedication. They can both be luminous and produce plenty of fruits, as far as...
So this guy was you know, heavy into esotericism. I wonder what he thought about uh, would it be Gaelic? Irish mythology, Irish myth, you know, the myth of the Fae and stuff like that, because, you know, their pinnacle of masculinity, or Cuchulainn, was trained by a female warrior.
Yeah.
Clearly showing that even back in the ancient days, people did have a sort of awe for the types of people that would rebuke their very specific, what would be expected of them. You know, a very rebellious thing. Hell, that was Cuchulainn's life throughout, you know, the mythos. Like, he was a very rebellious person, and so in some ways his teacher was very rebellious. So it's like, I wonder what this person would have thought of it, or if he had ever commented on it. Like, I know this person's apparently Italian. Maybe he just didn't like. Maybe he didn't like English. I don't know.
I also find that
in mythology there are like a million female goddesses or war goddesses or whatever strong characters or weird female characters that do a million things. So no, this guy is kind of an idiot for prescribing a fixed fate for men and women.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was getting at before, where it's like, I don't get where he has this.
Well, given the type of the people he had met in his
life,
I
know,
and how he described himself, I'm pretty sure he would like to be a bit more directive, dictatorial, as it were,
authoritarian,
the type
perhaps.
of roles people's had in society.
Yeah, but my thing is, I don't. Because obviously, as we've pointed out numerous times throughout the stream, it's like there's plenty of cases in history and within mythology where, you know, these so-called traditional gender roles, right, are, you know, overturned or, you know, not adhered to or whatever. And I feel like it's too many examples to just be like, oh, here's this like one-off case of a chick being a badass or some shit, right?
Nah, it's like millions of them.
Is probably, and because a lot of that stuff probably in some way reflects the world in which they lived in at the time, because you'd assume that a lot of those stories were probably created as a way to tell, you know, in part wisdom to people, right? As, you know, it's part of why they do that. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm not jiving with this fella. I'm not jiving. So let's continue.
Becoming human limits and achieving liberation are concerned, when they are lived with purity and in the sense of an offering. This differentiation of the heroic strain determines the distinctive character of the paths of fulfillment available to men and women. In the case of women, the actions of the warrior and of the ascetic who affirm themselves in a life that is beyond life, the former through pure action and the latter through pure detachment, correspond to the act of the woman totally giving of herself and being entirely for another being,
so,
whether he is the loved one.
This whole thing, right? This, you know, okay, this guy already made a video about how the slippery slope fallacy isn't a fallacy, right?
Yes, I'm very aware of that video.
Yeah, you know what fallacy he's making right now?
Appeal to authority.
Appeal to nature.
Yeah, nature.
It's natural, ergo it is better.
Yeah.
People are going away from their natural prerogative, ergo that's bad.
The natural prerogative, as I have established as being the natural prerogative, because I clearly understand what the natural prerogative actually is.
I clearly have an understanding of all cultures more closely aligned to nature. You know, let's disregard all of the uncivilized tribal cultures. They aren't closer to the type of nature I admire.
No.
Is what I imagine academic agent probably fucking thinks when he looks anywhere south of the equator and sees a type of primitive culture that might be doing something different from what he thinks is natural.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
The type of the lover, the aphrodisiac woman, or the son, the type of the mother, the Demetrian woman. finding in this dedication the meaning of her own life,
What are you
her
even
own joy,
saying?
and her own justification.
Yeah, like this is just words to me. I'm just like, yeah, okay, you're trying to, yeah, women.
There's like a
woman,
solid like several minute like. There's like several papers of fucking context required. Should we?
Yeah,
it would actually be nice if we had like Full in here because he has more of the academic background.
Oh well, I can tell you what he's saying isn't that complicated. It's
I know that. I'm just talking about like the references this guy's getting from, because Full probably has more of a background.
Full probably would, but he's not here, so it doesn't matter. But the thing is, like, to me, it's as the layman, right? It's just like he's using a lot of words to just say, I think women should be submissive and women will gain actuation within being submissive, while as men are more dominant and will gain actuation, or whatever the word I should be using. They'll like he's just trying to say woman sub male dom. This is pretty much all I'm getting from this, right?
And like it is a bit word salady as well, but like here's the thing. There is some truth to that, because men, this is majority, do gravitate to being more dominant.
But we already went over that when we talked about like the toys and the babies, right? But that's besides the point, right? The problem is like, what does this have to do with the point that academic is trying to make? Like, what is he actually trying to tell us here?
Well, yeah, we're kind of drifted off ourselves, but
because he was saying something along the lines of well, I mean, this philosopher had something to say about all of the stuff that's going on, and now he's spent like a good few minutes just directly quoting these paragraphs from this guy without
I'm more okay, and this just kind of shows the types of people I talk to. The fact, it's just amusing to me that I know exactly the type of person he's quoting right now to, of all things, rebuke the concept of tomboy abs. I just want you to follow the thought process that this entire video started because of a fucking shit post thread on Twitter where somebody's like whatever. It posted, screw politics, abs time, and then like it went from that to this person thinking of Julius Evola.
I know, right? So, all right, let's try and blitz.
This itself is its own pipeline.
All right, let's
also,
blitz.
We're not blitzing through. We have no fucking time limit right
now. I know. I mean, like, I want to get back to him to describe, like, talking about the abs. Because this is just dry, fucking philosophy nonsense. I want to get to something more entertaining.
What bhakti or fides, which constitute the normal and natural way of participation of the traditional woman, really mean, both in the order of form and even beyond form, where it is lived in a radical and impersonal way.
No way.
To realize oneself in an increasingly resolute way according to these two distinct and unmistakable directions. To reduce in a woman all that is masculine, and in a man everything that is feminine, and to strive to implement the archetypes of the absolute man and of the absolute woman. This was the traditional law concerning the sexes, according to their different planes of existence.
Evolus suggests that men and women won't ever truly find themselves, so to speak, unless they adopt either the path of absolute affirmation, that's being a warrior, a man of action, as a man, or a lover, that is giving herself over entirely to a man as a woman.
Okay.
And the other part.
What about the gays?
Yeah, but what about the gays? Yeah. What about the gays?
Where do the gays?
Somebody clip that part from Elliot.
What about the gays?
Because really,
do we have the clip function on this? Oh, we don't. Damn it.
No, we don't know how that shit works.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to enable that in the settings or something, but having the fucking clip function.
I can recreate a highlight video but I'm too distracted.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll have the VOD. We'll have the VOD anyway. But anyway, so he's basically broken all of that nonsense down to Women and men will not find themselves unless they devote themselves entirely to these naturally prescribed
you
gender
can just say
roles
be
that
happy.
I have created. Yeah,
They
you're not
won't
going to
be
be happy. Yeah.
Unless they are Conan the Barbarian or Barbie.
I don't know. I know people who are more. I know guys who are effeminate and lovers and are happy. What about that, Mr. Evil?
Yeah.
Don't you want an Italian femboy? It is your birthright, after all. Rome was known for femboys.
Italian femboy.
I mean, wasn't it Nero who had a femboy?
Yeah, become the Nero. When is Nero's eunuch femboy show the lover going to be in Faco? We need that.
Well, I also remember there was like an emperor who was bisexual. I forgot the name, but like the dude would buck and get bucked.
I mean, yeah. So I love the buck shit. It's great. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. Is okay, academic.
The through line's hilarious. This person just wanted, this poor motherfucker, Boulevard, just wanted to post some shit on fucking YouTube and being like, dear God, I need to get away from the actual schizophrenic political posters. And then this motherfucker stumbles along.
I know. And I want to remind, like the aftermath of this video has been fucking hilarious to watch on Twitter. It's been great.
Like, like Dev is getting involved, Sargon.
V's been having a fun type shit posting about it, I think. Like, everyone's been just, like, having a grand old time. It's great. Alright, let's keep going. We're getting there. We're got a little bit left, but we're getting there.
Path is the path of absolute dedication. That's being an aesthetic, essentially one who transcends and overcomes sensual pleasures as a man, or a mother that is giving herself entirely to the child as a woman. The hardest aspect for the liberal mind to understand in all of this is that those paths represent ultimate freedom in self-actualization for any of us, and everything else, all of
ultimate freedom, but only if you do these very specific things. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a very
that sounds like almost like a telemarketing scam.
Hearing a British person talk about freedom as an American actually.
Like, I don't get this idea that I can't be like self-actualized. Like, in order to be self-actualized as a person, I am bound to have to follow these rigid fucking gender norm nonsenses. I can't find happiness.
You have to be Conan the Barbarian. You have to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the woman.
Yeah, this is why you can tell academic agent, doesn't talk to anybody, or at least his handler doesn't let him talk to anybody in real life. Because how the fuck do you just go and interact with people for 5 seconds and you think to yourself, yeah, these people don't know what it's like to be truly free and happy.
Yeah, they don't. I know what true happiness is like.
As he sits at the corner of a bar, drinking on some freshly squeezed juice, as he is above things like alcohol, while everyone else is laughing and getting laid.
I understand the meaning of true happiness as I make a 20-minute video bitching about fucking tomboy apps on Twitter.
And then like a 3-hour live stream going into like the esoterical, the esoterical origin of tomboy abs.
If this guy believed half the shit he read, he'd be going out and getting laid right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is married with kids, so.
Oh God, why? I could cuck this man. 100%. I could absolutely cuck this man.
You guys should have invited me. Like I've been following academic agent for a couple of years. Like I know quite a bit about
this was really impromptu, but we just.
Okay, it's fine. Like, dude, I was in his deep lore artist team. All right, like I know some of the lore.
But it's like. He needs to self-actualize himself some more pussy. That's what he needs to do. Just fucking Jesus. Alright, let's keep going.
The other temptations in life, which modernity throws our way and sells to us as freedom, is a trap. Now, when I say the liberal mind, I don't just mean Democrat voters and communists.
Why is he talking about Democrats in America if he's in the UK?
All of us. Me, you, and everyone watching this.
Because this person wanted to get away from politics and post something he liked that he finds aesthetically pleasing, but unfortunately, political posters are a fucking black hole of personality.
Yeah, pretty much.
His wife must have the single worst case of fucking Stockholm syndrome, and I'm pretty sure at least one of his children's going to come out as gay.
Oh, that would not be surprising.
That would be hilarious.
Lol, Lolly, don't turn that guy into an Iron Mask. But it's... yeah, let's keep going.
Constant faults to thinking in a liberal way, because these are the waters in which we swim. This is how we've all been socialized from the second that we were born. We default to thinking of Evola's traditional edict here as being overly austere and constrictive in its prescriptions, and therefore we immediately try to find exceptions or counters or way to justify having a more enlightened or modern view of the matter. Now, Jonathan Bowden once commented on this tendency to try to find the liberal cope. Let's just listen to him for a moment.
I think the point to make about vanguardism is whenever anything happens, people in other groups and people in other vanguards...
audio mixing so bad. Only his Zoomer ass kids could fucking audio mix better than them.
Can you just some noise reduction or something?
Yeah. All right.
Also, I'm just gonna point out this professor right now, absolute pussy slayer.
Yeah, I have pussy destroyer.
Annihilator.
Pussy destroyer 9000. All right, now I have no idea what he's about to say. So let's...
And liberal humanists in our own group, because the previous speaker said quite truthfully that it is indigenous liberals who are our real enemy. Indigenous liberals are always the enemy. Liberalism within ourselves is always the enemy. It exists even in people who regard themselves as radical to a certain extent. We've had liberalism in an uninterrupted way for centuries. Russia's never known a liberal regime. And whether one likes it or not, the politics of contemporary Russia have a lot to do with the fact that they've never known a period of liberalism. You could argue that since the restoration of the monarchy in the 1600s, we've known nothing but...
And what are the living conditions like in Russia right now? Really makes you think.
I have also
there was this type of just talking about societies and the types of ways. You know, the base society in Russia that he's talking about right now that has never known the touch of liberalism has this type of online trend that they call trash streams. It's a good example of this. One of the more famous trash streamers let a woman freeze to death outside of his home.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this. Yeah.
Yeah, and in other videos, he's done things like physically brutalize them and stuff like that. So it's like,
yeah, man, that's some self-actualization.
Yeah, that's some self-actualization behavior, and not somebody that's out of control. And that could only happen in completely based societies that have never known the touch of liberalism.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, these fucking dweebs.
He's going on about, oh man, the real enemy is the liberal within all of us.
Hit the fucking gem, Jesus Christ, man.
Alright.
Various forms of reason, most of which link to various elements of the Protestant religion during that time. But until about the 1950s or 60s, most forms of Protestantism retained residual, illiberal and patriotic ideas, as for a period they did in a very sectarian way in Northern Ireland. So all views have their liberal side. Even hardliners have their liberal side, which they have to guard against, and guard against chipping away at them. Liberalism also feeds on indifference, and indifference to the future, and indifference to the generations that are coming in the future.
Did you hear that?
Look at that fucking gun.
Liberalism within ourselves is always the enemy. Liberalism also feeds on indifference.
I just want to say, why did he have that exclamation point there? That guy did not exclaim shit.
Yeah, liberalism feeds on indifference to the
Also, I'm completely lost what the context behind this term of liberalism, this use of liberalism.
He's talking about with liberalism. He's just talking about. I mean, liberalization in Europe had been it was the idea to move away from monarchy towards individual freedoms, right?
All right, yeah.
You know, the Magna Carta would be considered a liberal document.
So. What academic agent is trying to say is that he simps for the Queen.
No, he won't simp for the Queen because by upholding the Magna Carta, the Queen and individual liberties, the Queen is themselves contributing to the inner enemy of everybody. No, he wants a monarchy that can rule him with an iron fist.
Yeah, he wants to get rid of no democracy. No democracy, no. The government, the dictator will decide how you live and what to think.
So what I meant was he wants to have a queen bend him over and put on the strap on.
I will mention this. He didn't mention on a live stream that he did ask his wife to peg him, or that he got pegged once. I forget. I might have to fact check that.
Okay, so here's a fun factoid about that, right? The whole like I read it was an interesting few tweets I saw about this, right? Where someone was talking about the pegging thing, right? And a lot of the time that's actually a shit test, right? That the chick most of the time they don't actually want to peg you, right? The reason they ask you that is because they want to know if you'll actually do it or not. And if you actually do it, 9 times out of 10 that chick is going to fucking leave your ass. Because they don't respect you anymore.
That's a pretty high IQ move, actually.
Yeah, because it's like you're like again, it's a shit test. It's what we call a shit test, where it's like, okay, would you? Oh man, I'm so sexually liberated. I want to try this thing out. I want to try it out, and like the answer that you should always give is no, unless it's something that like you introduce or that you both introduce at the start of the relationship, right? Because typically it comes up later on in the relationship, and they just spring it on you, right? And you got to be careful because sometimes it's that shit test where it's like they're trying to see if you're like the simp beta male or whatever, right? And then they'll fucking peg you, and then you are never gonna have your dick in that woman again.
Well, sometimes even the strongest among us want to get. Sometimes even the strongest among us want to fucking internet ruin that fucking phrase. Want to get pegged in the ass.
So hey man, sometimes you just want to be the sub, you know? Like look, I'm not saying this is like a hard set rule that every single time it's a shit test. I'm just saying that I find that theory, right, of it being a shit test quite interesting, and I think in a lot of cases it probably is true, where it's like. Yeah, it's kind of like when the woman is like, hey, you want to, like, I don't know, do some polygamy or some shit, you know, you want to threesome with Jack from down the street or something, right, you know? Sometimes it's like, that's a bit sus. It's a bit sussy. She's being a sussy Barker. But anyway, back to whatever the fuck is on screen right now.
You brought up Sussy Baka because I said Among Us.
Yes, I did. I knew you'd catch that. I knew you'd catch. Yeah.
I hate that I can't even say the phrase "strongest among us" without laughing. There's gonna be a speech I have to give in the future where I'm gonna say that I'm gonna fucking die.
Like fucking 5 years in the future. We've become a massive YouTube channel or some shit, and we're giving like a speech at VidCon, right? And you're up on stage talking.
I will cancel myself before I go up on stage at VidCon.
Why the fuck would you go to VidCon? Let's just run our own conventions. Look, I'll do a presentation of why traps are good and you should like them.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's keep going.
Liberalism within ourselves is always the enemy. Liberalism also feeds on indifference to the future and indifference to the generations that are coming in the future. And this is what I notice most when I scratch on these little issues of degeneracy in the culture now and again, like I'm doing in this video. There's always a contingent in the audience who'd rather I didn't look, who'd rather I didn't care. Why do you care about this academic agent, they'll say? Why do you care if some silly Zoomers...
Well, I know why you care.
Insecurity.
I know why you care.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm just gonna say this now. My entire interpretation upon listening to this, and then him bringing up the trap, or the anime femboy thing. There's no way this guy isn't actually homosexual and just really closeted about it. There's no fucking way. That is the only way I can interpret this personality at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, to give you further context, like in the last, like, I think year or two, he has been looking more into, like, Catholicism and stuff, so, and, like, hierarchies and shit, to give you more context,
so
but,
it's a Shotokan.
Oh no. Yeah, but basically, to give you the context, like, he's been going to the fourth steps of looking into sort of natural hierarchies and Catholicism, and like his economic shit is great. It's just he has these weird ass fucking hot takes that are quite hit and miss, and this is one of the misses.
A little bit. Alright, let's keep going.
I want to lick the masculine women. I care because I care about future generations. I care because I care about this current generation. This is not a healthy place for our people to be in. And you should care. And when you try to fob me off and get me not to care, whether you know it or not, you're working for the interests of the enemy. Because the enemy want this to happen.
You can tell in his breathing.
Yeah, he is fucking pissed. Yeah, he's pissed as fuck.
He's about as pissed as a British person can get.
Yeah. This is maximum pissed.
He's not alpha enough to go full Southern and just scream.
He's so mad that people are telling him to just, like, this is not a fucking fight. You should fucking fight.
I mean, he should fight it because it's entertaining.
Yeah, true.
Don't stop.
True. Alright, let's keep going.
A people is more pliable, easier to manipulate, if you have a generation of confused, girlish men, and a generation of even more confused, mannish women, constantly locked in a battle against their true natures.
True nature.
God, so dramatic.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Man. Oh fuck! All right. Yeah.
You can practically hear him like gnashing his teeth when he says "mannish women."
Mannish women. Right.
It is satanic.
He sounds like a Harry Potter. He sounds like an unhinged professor from Harry Potter.
You're a tomboy, Harry.
To give you more context, he was an economic professor until his university found out about his YouTube channel. So
I wonder why.
I wonder why they fired him, because this person sounds like he's going to. This is a manifesto. This guy's going to commit a crime.
Look, I don't think he should be cancelled or whatever, right? Like, let's be real here. I'll be honest. Like, he shouldn't get
canceled. I'm keeping a wide breath from whatever the fuck he lives, because he is going to pop off.
To give you more context, he's also half Iranian as well, so...
I don't care about that. He's insane either way.
Alright, let's keep going.
I'm just giving you guys more context.
Alright.
You cope and try to ward off and explain away this shit against the vanguard of the right.
He said shit enough.
Or doing the bidding of the regime.
Okay, I want to point out my problem here is that throughout this whole thing, has he actually explained how this is a problem?
Well,
like,
because
and other than like oh, it's feminizing. Like, he hasn't explained like the mechanics behind how this is actually going to cause a problem.
That is the problem.
Right? Yeah, but why is that a problem?
It will prevent the self-actualization of women into being submissive, being submissive and breedable.
Why is this a problem?
The woman won't be submissive and breedable.
I don't understand.
The muscle will prevent the breedable.
Well, you see, he doesn't want his child's or future brides to fight him off. I'm not saying.
Oh
I'm not saying that this person probably okay. Well, I'm not gonna go that far.
Yeah. We're still on. You have to remember, though, this isn't an After Dark episode. We're still on YouTube. Yeah. You have to be careful.
I've already insinuated that he's gay.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
You're acting as an apologist for their inversion of tradition. You're acting as Satan's little helper. And this shit right
I hate the Antichrist. I hate the Antichrist.
I'm gonna kill chaos.
I saw one of the best lines I'd seen for a while in my Telegram group earlier from an anon. And this, thinking like this, is how you must crush libertine and libertarian pushback on all these moral sorts of questions.
Oh my God, the locking is real.
We hate the left because they enforce an evil morality, not because they enforce morality.
No, just keep going.
Yeah.
An evil morality is still a morality.
Yeah, it's called lawful evil.
Exactly.
Keep going.
Back to the coal mines, child.
We hate the left because they enforce an evil morality, not because they enforce morality. Yes. 1,000 times yes, Anon. Correct. And morality must be enforced.
Okay, pause.
Because
I want to give a shout out to the FBI agent who posted this at him in his Telegram group. Holy shit! If I was in a Telegram group and an anonymous message gave me this message, I'd be like, "This shit fucking glows. This shit fucking glows."
Yeah,
we have to enforce morality. Like, he's literally the same fucking thing. Because he's like, oh, their morality's the evil one. Ours is the good one. We're going to enforce our one, right? Your one is the bad one. Ours is the good one. And it's like, no, both of you are fucking stupid.
Okay, he only has to be submissive to a masculine woman if like he's not man enough to lift more than her. Like, clearly, just go to the gym, man. Just go to the fucking gym and become stronger than the tomboy abs. You can do it. I believe in you. Get your own abs.
Alright, let's keep going.
Because, as you see eventually from my speech at the recent event, if it's ever uploaded, culture is downstream from law. And this culture is downstream from a law which categorically cannot distinguish between men and women at a legal level. A law which actually punishes attempts
oh my God,
to conform.
Don't just fucking switch back to that. It's hilarious. Do you think the person who drew this knew? Like, he probably drew this. He's like, this is funny.
Yeah. What the fuck is he even saying? He's like, oh, it's a downstream from law, and the law can't distinguish from fucking men and women. Or something. Like, what the fuck are you on about?
I just want to mention that he's commenting on a fan base. Like, here's the thing, most Zoomers don't care about anime. And most quote-unquote anime fans leave the medium within a couple of years, and they're like, oh yeah,
the people that are actually, like, a lot of people are memey into the whole abs thing. But the people that are actually, like, fetishists of, like, you know, the muscle shit, it's like we talked about this at the start of the stream, it's like it's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction, right? So yeah, it's like...
it's a niche and a niche and a niche.
It literally is a case of him not getting it. By the way, when he says, you know, the event I was speaking at, do you think he filmed himself talking to the show?
I can give you context of this. So basically him, Sargon...
I don't care I don't care about whatever LARPer event he was talking with. I don't care about the fact that he was talking with an Applebee's manager. In my head, I want to believe that the event he was talking at he was in the shower and he was looking at shampoo bottles. He was talking to shampoo bottles, and they applauded. They stood up and they applauded.
Had a grand old time. Let's keep going.
To enforce traditional views on gender, such as Evela's. It's not a private matter. It's not something that's just up to individuals and all that other shit that you're going to give me. It's my business, and it's yours if you care about your civilization. And just before I made this video, some little dipshit on Twitter he said,
Meme account number 25216.
dying. Oh fuck.
With a goddamn cat.
Oh no!
What a fucking idiot!
I'm gonna goof. I'm gonna goof.
What a goddamn idiot! How do you even? How do you look at this? This is like responding seriously to like. This is like responding seriously to like when I make a shit post.
Every time I fucking look at that cat, I'm fucking dying. I'm fucking avatar. Fuck. Oh god, hang on. Oh, meme account. Fucking 25, 21, 6. What is wrong?
This sounds like an FBI asset or something.
What is wrong with womanly abs? This is how conservatives lose the younger generation. You are all the Puritan of our time. He's not wrong though.
No.
Yeah, he really is. He doesn't know how to be hip with the kids.
This is such a fucking this is not. Puritans are bad. It doesn't matter what fucking side they're on. Like you don't get a.
Okay. Let's look at this from a different perspective. All right. So let's say he wanted to convert the gays back to the straight side. He could hold up the masculine woman and do like a bait and switch thing, slowly get them to fetishize actual women.
Well, that is some giga chat.
Nah, man, the risk is too great. You might destroy the world and make the straight men gay for women.
Yeah. Yeah. Because a person that likes feminine abs is clearly going to like taking man dick up the ass. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, they're not called abs, they're called cum gutters, okay?
The cum gutters, the cum gutters, yeah. Alright, we're almost there. We got like a minute left, so let's see what he has to say about this fucking meme account.
He said, "What's wrong with womanly abs? This is how conservatives lose the younger generation. You are the Puritan of our time. Well, let me just tell you this. If I was angry. In charge, the regime would force you to stop being such a...
Ooh?
I'm aware that Susan is listening.
Oh, what a coward.
If you are a young man watching this...
So he does admit that he has a power fantasy and he wants to rule over other people with an iron fist. What a pathetic little man. What a pathetic little man with his lard-ass cow of a wife and his shitty little inbred fucking children. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Six in the chat is fucking on point. The mask is fucking... Yeah, goodbye mask. See you later.
But also, the mask just did... He puts off the mask and just puts it back on. He takes
the mask. He didn't commit. Yeah, he didn't commit to it. Yeah, he's like...
Alright.
Yeah,
I'm so angry and sick. I'm going to take off the mask. Alright, no, it's going to back on.
Susan's listening. I better be a good boy.
He mentioned the part at the beginning of this about the little man going down like a teenage girl and the masculine woman. He saw himself as the little man. And the fact that the little man in that he sees himself as was serving a woman, that just irritated him. This guy has to be like fucking 5'4".
I gotta hear the end of this, so let me listen.
Who wants your girlfriend to be a man and who wants to act like a teenage girl in the safety of her bulging biceps, you don't belong on the right. The correct place for you is to be marching with Antifa against the natural order.
How do you fucking know this guy is on the right? It's a fucking meme account. What the fuck is... All he said was this is how conservatives lose the generation. It doesn't mean that he himself is a conservative.
Or that he's
You don't
left.
know what fucking... And even if he is left or right, like, it doesn't fucking matter. The point still remains, right?
You belong out there with Antifa, burning down businesses.
Yeah.
That's such a fucking, like, stretch. Okay, you like the security of womanly apps. This clearly means that you're going to riot in U.S. cities.
Yeah, you're going to fucking embrace communism because you have a fucking fetish. Like,
my
god.
I mean, this new Switzerlander, because he obviously lives in New Switzerland or something, he's going to fly over and go to the United States, to some state I don't know, to rally with Antifa.
I just fucking... These fucking trads, man. This is why I don't consider myself left or right. When people ask me...
Sargon associates with this man and considers him a friend says a lot about Sargon.
A little bit, yeah.
This is a pathetic little piece of shit of a man.
A little bit. But it's like... when people ask me, right, they're like, oh, Nuretsu, are you like a fucking right-wing alt-righter or a fucking left, do you like the left a little bit?
This is the alt-righter.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. But when people ask me, I always say something along the lines of, I don't consider myself left or right, I just consider myself me, right? I have my opinions, right? Sometimes I will agree a little bit with some of the stuff the left says. Like I mentioned before in the cast, I'm like, that spectrum theory stuff, I'm like, alright, yeah, okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, as long as you fucking actually stick to it. You know, I agree with a lot of stuff the right has to go on about, you know, when they're talking about, you know, gun rights and shit like that. You know, I have a lot of opinions that I probably lean a little bit more right than most, right? But it's, you know, I look at the arguments and I go, alright, what do I think I agree with? I'm not like beholden to one side. So to have him being like, oh, you like the tomboy abs, that makes you an Antifa member, I'm just like, that's fucking shit. Most people don't think in this tribalistic nonsense way of, oh, I have to be a leftist because oh man, if I'm not I have to believe every, you know, nonsense. So no, it doesn't have to be like that. You can
like how seriously he takes himself.
Yeah.
Like, this is what God. Sargon's little circle of like little goons and fucking little ass minions always do this shit. They always take themselves so seriously. They're so high and mighty. They know so much more. They are the high 107 IQ man working at the Applebee's, and it just permeates. It permeates, and like despite all of this, they are never taken seriously. They're never taken seriously.
Yeah, because if you try to be taken seriously, then you don't. You can't like force that shit. You have
Dankula is taken more seriously by Nigel Farage than this guy.
Yeah, because
and I bet that stinks up his crawl.
All right, we're almost there. Let's finish it off.
Order of thing. Get out of here.
Now available at the Academic Agency. Sharpen your analytical mind and your argument.
All right.
I think this is.
Yeah. By the way, he made his own like online courses and shit.
But also, he paid somebody to voice these.
Yeah. I know the guy who voices some of them. Cindy Agog. He has actually a pretty interesting channel.
Alright.
He did an interview with Six Hexenhammer.
Well, if this is the end of the fucking video because it's just an advertisement for his fucking course or whatever, I think we can pretty much kind of fucking cap off.
What a fucking ride! He made these slides in PowerPoint.
The sun is rising.
The bliss of the sun shall cast.
Sun.
Oh no. Fucking yeah. So, where do I even begin?
Do you want me to start somewhere?
No.
I'm gonna go take a piss. You guys go do that.
Yeah, Lolly's gonna take a piss. Because I didn't watch this video initially because I kind of, once I realized it wasn't a shit post, I kind of knew where it was going, and it's just the same fucking shit that I hear from the leftists all the fucking time about, oh, well, no, sex is bad because it normalizes the fucking stereotypes of fucking, you know, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's literally the same fucking shit, but on the right, and I hate it. Because it's two sides of the same coin, and I want nothing to fucking do with either of you. I just want to be able to enjoy my fucking shit in peace, and not have to fucking deal with this nonsense.
The religious right Puritan has never left. It's...
Yeah. See, the thing is the tradcaps, or the trads as I like to call them, right? They yeah, you're right, Ellie. They never left, right? The thing is they've just been really quiet because the left has been doing all their work for them, right? Because the left has been the ones for the last, like, I don't know how many years. like how many years or whatever, right? The left have been the ones that have been going on about, problematic media and sexualization and, porn bad, but porn good, but porn actually bad, and all this nonsense. So the trads have never actually had to come out and make these arguments, right? Because the left has been doing it for them, and they don't have to say anything. Because why would you say something if the person that's saying something agrees with you? Right? It's kind of like, because that's the end of the day. Like, they both are two sides of the same coin. They both want to get to the same conclusions. They just have a different, reason for wanting to get to the same conclusion. And I don't want anything to do with the conclusion. So that's kind of what I have to sort of say on the matter.
Yeah, I saw this. Apparently, it was serious. I heard the lack of pop filter and the terrible transitions, and I knew this is just like my flat Earth videos. I know when I recognize genuine crazy.
You recognize the power of the schizo. You recognize that true schizo energy.
Yeah.
Remember that one time you were linking me those 5G videos?
Oh yeah, I love those.
Yeah. Oh man. So we'll wait for Lolly to come back.
And then we'll finish it off.
You joined in late, but I think you already watched the video. So
yeah, I did watch the video. So there's a couple of things to I want to add off. So the problem with Academic Agent, and here's the thing. I like his videos and shit, but here's the thing: is that he actually does not know really much about anime or where the shit comes from, and from what I've experienced, he's only really experienced or seen the surface level cringy weeb shit. And here's the thing: I get the argument that anime can be a bit degenerate and yada yada and etc. But at the same time, there's a lot more to it. And he literally has just looked at the surface, and then just didn't decide to look any further. I really think this is where it's.
Bio, the problem is that he has a fixed view of what a woman and what a man should be, and everything flows out from there.
I was about to get to that. I was about to get to that as well.
I was gonna interrupt you because I feel like the whether or not he knows anything about anime or weeb subculture, it doesn't really hold any relevance.
No. The reason why I say that is if you look deeper into the shit, I kind of feel some of his arguments would fall apart.
I don't think you even need to look deeper into anime or manga subculture to be able to.
No, you just need to laugh at him. He's just kind of a pathetic little piece of shit. That's my impression. If this person were to spout at me in public, I would just think he's pathetic. I don't care that he has a little ugly little wife. I don't care that he has ugly little children. They can screw off to their little hovel of a fucking shed they live in, and he can see at his Windows 98 computer screen about how he's the savior of whatever Western civilization. He's pathetic. He really is. Man, you can tell he was talking about Dankula, about how he's a propagator of this culture. Man, dude, Dankula is more successful than you. You both rode Sargon's little penis dick train, and Dankula is more successful than you. That probably upsets him. I'm sorry. I'm getting really
go. It's great. Good entertainment.
Yeah.
Nah, it's alright.
It's entertaining. Bio was just going on about he was talking about how he reckons that part of the problem is that he doesn't understand anime or whatever, and I was making the point that I don't actually think that actually would have any bearing on the issues, especially that we have with the ideology that he's trying to present here, right? I feel like it wouldn't really matter if it was anime or real life or whatever.
Games, movies, TV, whatever.
I think he would still go off about how the tomboy abs are causing the downfall of Western civilization.
He wants people who like things that he doesn't like to shut up. He basically said as much as that.
Yeah, he wants a regime that can dictate what you are.
Yes. If I was in control, you would be.
I was kind of getting a vibe when he brought up Julius Evola, because I know who Julius Evola was. He was the guy had fucking sit down interviews with fucking Himmler, Like the guy referred to himself as a super fascist, unironically. Like the guy was so like I was like, man, maybe he's just trying to separate a bit of Evola's ideology, or like a bit of his arguments from his main ideology. No, he's 100% on board with the whole esoteric fascism thing. Unironically, this guy's an unironic fascist. There's no other way.
Yeah.
I don't say that lightly either, because Lord knows people in here probably got called a fascist by some weirdo on the internet.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
This is what it looks like. This is the true blue shit.
Yeah, and like that's my kind of thing. It's like I just think that he has gone down that fucking rabbit hole or whatever. He's gone down the fucking the trad direction, and I'm just not interested in any of that shit.
He went down. God, it's kind of crazy. Anime is just the source of all evils on the left and right. You have the anime to right wing pipeline, and you have the anime to trans pipeline. Like Jesus Christ, if you would listen to these people and just think about it, this niche little Japanese cartoon is apparently the pipeline to all manners of extremism. It is.
I mean, if you think about it, this is the Japanese plan all along to subvert the West through soft power.
Yeah, I guess.
Shit, it's fucking Hirohito's revenge.
Yeah.
We've been checkmated, boys.
So, I guess to kind of cap off, like I can see why this video kind of took off as like a fucking viral thing, and it's funny to see people on his side of the fence try and defend this as anything other than fucking schizo posting.
I actually read the comment section of that video. There's quite a few people calling him out on it as well.
No, he was going to delete every comment that disagreed with him.
That's right. Yeah, he said he was going to.
Well,
delete
I saw
comments.
a couple of them, and in fact, there was actually a buddy of mine who was involved with the academic agent who got banned and kicked from like the Discord and Matrix group.
That's great. That should tell you something, shouldn't it?
It's fucking like basically he was telling me about this shit. So shout out to the good student. He was telling me about this shit. I'm like, wow, Jesus.
For somebody who talks about masculinity, he acts like he throws a tantrum like a child. No chill. That is some beta male behavior.
That's kind of what this kind of came off as. It's just he's having a tantrum because someone. I still can't get over this. This is all because somebody posted abs on Twitter.
This shows how fucking cursed we are, right?
Yeah. Like
we can literally just be sitting there minding our business. Haha, look, a funny
ab. I'm just on Twitter. I'm just on Twitter retweeting my hentais, right, as I do. Right, I'm just sitting there.
It's either some person like who has like a Wikipedia checklist for every anime character's age, or it's somebody who straight up just like comes at you with some Black Sun cult shit. It's never ending.
All right, I'm going to cap it off with I'm reading the comments on the video. I'm going to read one and we'll end it there. From Z's door 3 days ago. I really wonder if this is a straightforward consequence of ready and early access to porn. Because YouTube might be watching. It strikes me that even vanilla porn is a kind of cuckold conditioning for men. They basically pleasure themselves to the sight of a different man having sex to a woman that they likely desire on some level. Most of my attempts of researching this has been dead ends, probably because I don't know the proper terms to search for. But in my naive understanding, this process is strikingly similar to animal conditioning. To deny that something like this would fulfill human smacks of special pleading.
Okay. I want to stop you there. I know you want to cut off the stream, but I have to respond.
Oh,
I have to respond to this because it's fascinating that he talks about the idea of it's making men watch another man fuck a woman and that's causing them to be, I don't know, cucks or something. There's actually different there's different things around this, and it all kind of depends on the person, right? I think it's been described to me before. I partook in like a survey once where someone was doing like a survey about this, where they were asking people what they identified with, right? And I believe so. There's like first person where you self-identify with one of the participants in the act. So let's say you're watching like porn of somebody fucking your waifu, you will self-actualize yourself in the position of the male. This is why in a lot of, hentai dojins or whatever, the male character is always kind of, no facial features, pretty, like it's a blank slate, right? And that's specifically to facilitate the idea of you putting yourself in that position in the first person, right? You also then have the second person, right? Which is where you might not be injecting yourself personally into the act, but you are observing the act as a just as a normal bystander in real life. Like you view yourself as, oh, I'm just watching a sexual act, and watching the sexual act is causing me to be aroused. I'm not self-injecting myself as a participant in the act. And then you have third person, which is cuck, where you are projecting yourself as a third person within the scene, right? So a bystander, or you believe yourself to be viewing this as like, a cuck scenario where you look at what you're looking at, right? Like you're like, oh, you're looking through like a keyhole or something like that, right? You self-identify within that role and project yourself inside, like as if you're standing in the room as it's happening, rather than being like second perspective, where you're just, oh, I'm sitting behind a computer screen watching a sexual act, right? That's the difference between the two, because they are quite kind of similar, but there is a key difference in the role that you are projecting as, right? And I think that that's kind of where he's kind of getting at, where he's thinking that a lot of people are, like everybody is doing that third person projecting, where they're, oh, I'm watching another man fuck my waifu, and that's causing me to get my rocks off because I'm watching somebody else have an act that I can't do. And he's completely ignoring the other two possibilities in the room, where like there's even a lot of people, like even within like the whole like cuck stuff, right, and NTR or whatever, there's actually a subset of people when you read people talk about the fetishes, because if you actually, God forbid, you actually listen to someone explain why they like something in like a forum thread or in like a Twitter or thing or whatever, or in 4chan, or God forbid you actually like look into why people are doing what they're doing. A lot of them will say, no, I actually identify as the bull, right? Or I identify as the one that's doing the cucking. And a lot of people will say, oh, that's just a cope because, but I actually think that there's some truth to that, where you'll have people that will actually identify in that regard, because that's part of the actualization. You don't necessarily have to identify as the male. Heck, there's people that could identify as the female in the situation, right? Even if they're male. There's a whole fucking range of these possibilities that people like these trad fucking dudes just don't think about this shit. They don't consider the fact that the human brain is a complicated beast, right? And there could be multitudes of different possibilities going on. No, it has to be just their interpretation that is correct. There could be no other way to interpret a situation. So yeah, that's my little rant about human sexuality there for you. You can enjoy. It could be that's my schizo pose. There you go. I'm doing a dab.
You can also all say that Naretsu, but this is why the terrorist hates us.
I know.
Later.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a good time.
Alright, video's over.